Well, I'm enjoying starting these videos in the gym laundry room. I think it's kind of funny. But, pre-workout ritual. Go drop a deuce. Use baby wipes if you're a real man and keep your ass clean. Nobody likes a stinky butt. But, yeah, I don't put any Tiger Balm on the arms on back day. That's what today is. It's the second back day of the week. As I told you guys before, I'm a back day training addict. So I'm just going to throw on my hoodie, sweat it through. I got a client in about an hour and 30 minutes. So do a little stretching, do a little warming up. Nothing too crazy. And then make it happen. So today, I haven't completely learned this back workout all the way through yet because I just changed it last week. But I'm pretty sure it's pull-ups, T-bar row, dumbbell row. No, I think it's pull-ups, landmine row, where I grab the little grip on the landmine and do the Ronnie Coleman style rows. Pretty sure I then do dumbbell, neutral grip, lat pull down on the pull down cable, and then a overhand straight bar cable row. Pretty sure that's what I do today. We'll see. We'll see if that was right. No clue. But I baked some cookies last night and brought them to the gym to give away. I can't be eating those, but I really enjoy making them. I finally perfected that recipe, and that's what I was working on the last 3 days. The first 2 times, I think I put too much flour, and the cookies would rise, and usually I expect them to compress and get nice and flat and crispy. But I put too much flour, so they'd rise, and then they stayed risen, I guess, and they solidified that way. So they look like perfect little like biscuits, and the texture was bready when you break them. So this time I got it right. I put more sugar, took out flour, so when they rise, they flatten back out when they cool down. And then the middle is still caramely because all the sugar, but the outside is crisp, but it's thin. So it's thin, caramel center, crispy on the outsides. I got it perfect. I put a little bit of peanut butter in it, so it's like a peanut butter sugar cookie. I don't like too much peanut butter because then the cookie literally feels oily when you grab it. And then I went shopping. Friday is my grocery day. I got a client that comes in a little earlier today, so he threw off my schedule. I have to get the rest of my Costco groceries tomorrow, Saturday morning. I usually get like chicken breast, egg whites, and large bags of produce like onions, and I'll get my large boxes of seasonings. It's like a 20-ounce, 24-ounce container of garlic powder. It's a lot cheaper to get it there. So I go to Costco for those, and I go for the local grocery store for the smaller things. In Texas here, we got H-E-B. I think in like other states, it's like Albertsons or Vons or whatever you want to call it. So grocery day today, picked up the brisket I'm going to be smoking on Sunday. I think I'll record that. Got some bone marrow as well, so I'll be baking that. My sister's going to handle the sides. And I have a nice family dinner. It's kind of like the Sunday tradition we've started for like last going on 3 months now. So that's pretty cool. I've never done that in my life, so it's been a fun routine to have with everybody. And even during prep, it's fun for me to like cook for other people. I enjoy it. So that's been a nice like mental break. But on to the back day. So this is my Friday back day after I've gotten all my groceries, or I think this was before I got my groceries. I got like, groceries in the morning, workout, and then I get groceries afterwards. But I've been throwing in these wide grip pull-ups to try and develop my lat width, right? That's like the old school belief is that if you grab wider on the bar, you get more lat width. It's not really why I'm doing it. It's because I feel my lats better when I grab it wider. When I start to get narrower, I feel a lot of forearm, and it just doesn't feel as good. So I've been working on adding some weight to these. So I threw a little 10-pound weight around the waist to try and make it a little more challenging. And at 238 pounds body weight plus 10 pounds, pretty hefty. I'm actually quite proud of that. I do long-term want to be able to do this like a 45-pound plate and to be able to basically do pull-ups like 300 pounds total, body weight plus the 45. That'd be pretty cool. But yeah, nothing too crazy. And on the other side of things, life's going pretty good. Gym's staying busy, trying to find ways to get more clients and working on building my website and getting more leads, more client prospect type things. So I got to look into some lead generating type tools that I can find, customer information on some sort of database and start marketing to them. And I changed my schedule, not at the time of recording the video, but the time of recording the audio. I started making my breakfast and my lunch and my mid-afternoon meal at night so that when I come to the gym, I can train my 2 clients, eat, and train an hour earlier than I normally do, which will give me an extra hour to train another client on my schedule. So that extra hour could make me quite a bit of money the 4 days a week that I'll be coming in to do that. The 5th day, I can't really benefit from getting in earlier, the meals and the training session, because that's when I get groceries and that's kind of my busy day. But yeah, trying to adapt my schedule and everything so that I can strike a balance between being a good bodybuilder and also a good business owner. Because, if my business isn't doing well, then I can't fuel my hobby. And I love bodybuilding, but it doesn't pay any bills. Not at all. It burns my money. But really, the cool thing about bodybuilding, if you really do follow a classic bodybuilding diet, you can save a lot of money versus the traditional like eating out for every meal sort of thing. I used to eat out for a lot of meals, and it's at least in Texas. I don't know prices in other places. It's probably universal. If you just eat 3 standard meals a day, you can burn like $80 a day. That's that adds up quick. That's like $560 a week on food. $80 times 7 days, versus I spend like $200 a week on groceries. That basically makes my food consumption $30 a day. That's not bad. It's less than half. So if you're ever looking just to saving money, but you're not trying to be a big old bodybuilder, your grocery bill would be even lower than that, and it makes it cheaper than eating out. And if you can learn to cook and make your food good, it's a skill that you can use for yourself to enjoy your food, or you can have fun with your spouse or your loved one, making food. I make food for my family, go over to their house on Sundays. And, I wouldn't be able to do that if I hadn't had so much practice cooking for myself as a bodybuilder. And then, you teach your kids how to cook. My parents taught me at a young age, so I was cooking shit in like middle school. I'd come home and just, cook burgers and do all sorts of stuff. I was having a lot of fun with it. I didn't get into like learning pastas and how to make sauces at that age, but I was self-sufficient. Whereas now I try to write diets for these kids who are like 16, still living at home, so the groceries are paid for. And I'm like, hey, do you know how to cook? And they're like, their parents will usually be there in the console. Like, well, he barely knows how to make eggs. I'm like, oh my God, I was already cooking pretty complex meals by the time I was your age. My sister and I, like, we'd make a big mess in the kitchen. She'd bake. My sister's an amazing baker and cook, but I think she got into baking more first. And I started more cooking before I learned to bake. And, we're certainly a lot better at cleaning the kitchen. We make it look like no one was in there after we're done cooking. But back in the day, I remember my sister used to always get in trouble because she'd leave a mess, like get flour all over the counter and not clean it. And it's like, hey, we love the food you're making, but you're making a giant mess for us to clean up in the morning, is what my parents used to say. That was so funny. I used to, when my mom would be doing dishes in the sink, I'd like slide a dish in past her arm and put it in the sink. She'd always give me this stink eye, like, come on, dude. Like, I'm already doing these dishes. You're going to add more to this pile. And, I didn't think anything of it then, but it's always when you like move out and you grow up and you meet other people like that just didn't get raised the same way as you. And you're like, holy cow, you are really unaware, or they're just not clean. Or I just meet people who don't know how to wash dishes, and it's like mind blowing. I have people work at my gym for me, and I have to teach them how to mop. Like, they didn't learn how to mop at home because apparently they had like maids, or they just didn't clean their houses growing up. It's the craziest stuff, just like learning about different people's upbringings. And, I'm thankful for mine, but I wish more people had an upbringing like mine. Even with weights, when clients ask me, like, how long have you been working out? And it's disheartening when I see the look on their face and I tell them, like, I've been working out since I was a little child. Like, my mom's been working out my whole life. So I always had access to a weight set, and I'd take her weights and I'd kind of mimic the stuff I used to see her do. My uncle was a competitive bodybuilder, and I used to just see him do what competitive bodybuilders do. So I kind of learned by observation. My dad's an amazing cook, so I kind of learned by observing him cook, as is my mom. And then my grandfather was a bodybuilder, and he passed when I was young. By the age, I think he passed when I was like 5 or 6. So before I was even 5 or 6 years old, my grandpa already taught me how to bench press. I was doing pull ups with my body weight. He'd like try to what do you call that? Bribe me into like climbing a 2-story tall rope up the tree, and I'd do it because hey, I want to make money. There are even photos in our family photo albums of me like dragging giant logs while I'm wearing a harness like around the farm. So I just came up different, I guess. I remember when I started playing little league football, my dad bought this 200-pound sled, and this isn't child abuse. Don't think I look back on my childhood with like any negativity, but I remember my dad and I would go jog to the park, jog back. He encouraged me to work out. If I had good grades, he'd buy me like new weights. So I slowly kept growing my weight set because my grades were good. But in like, I think it was like fourth or fifth grade, I was already running sprints in the yard with 200-pound sled I was dragging behind me. So, I guess physical fitness and just things I learned growing up are just a bit different than what other people learned. And it definitely gave me an edge with the whole weight training thing. But, hard work is great, but it doesn't trump genetics when people with good genetics work hard too. And that's what's the amazing thing about bodybuilding is you find people who are just so gifted, and it blows your mind to know they've only been training for so long and they've never really done anything athletic before in their lives. And it's like they just touch weights and grow. And those are really remarkable people to meet. But I find it more fun when you meet someone who's been like doing it their whole life and they ain't giving up. They're still grinding. They're still pushing through. Today at the gym, I had a guy come in asking if we had a sauna, and I was like, I'm sorry, we don't have a sauna, but here's a couple places around me I know that do. And people like to share their story, and this guy was pretty open and honest, and he was in a great mood. And he was like, yeah, I just got part of my colon removed for colon cancer, just got my liver partially removed as well from a liver cancer I had. It's spread to my lungs, so I'm trying to do something about that. And I'm hoping to get a sauna. The doctor told me I should sit in one to help. I don't know how it helps, but apparently a doctor prescribed it for him. And then I think the cancer spread to somewhere else. And like, you wouldn't know. Like, this guy came in, full head of hair, great mood, happy. And it like blows your mind when you see people going through some like really hard things, and you don't see it. They hide it well. And it's like, dang, I really need to like take a note out of this guy's book and keep it for myself. It's remarkable. Oh yeah, this video. Forget that I have the video going, just ranting. I do these weighted, not all the time weighted, but I do a hang from the bar after back days. I try to stretch my lats and shoulders by hanging for about 2 minutes. Try it for yourself. Use some straps so you can hang on longer and not worry about your grip strength giving out on you. But holy cow, this does a lot for me to help me with my shoulder mobility, especially the days after training where the muscles are really tight. I have a lot better shoulder mobility the days after training. And then I need to do some quad stretching here soon because my quads are super tight from today's leg day at the time of recording this audio. And if I can loosen these up before they get any tighter tomorrow, it's definitely going to make my days off a lot better. But a buddy of mine's been drilling me. He wants to do a ruck march with me, and I've been trying to avoid doing it because it's like really hard cardio. It might as well be an extra workout. But I got nothing better to do this weekend, so he and I do accountability cardio together. He's a client and a friend. I show up to cardio in the morning on the weekends to push him, to make sure he doesn't skip out. And then this Saturday, we're going to go do a ruck march in the afternoon, evening before the UFC fights start. So we're going to go kill some calories and, be active and be out and around. And, that's good for you. So, just because you're a bodybuilder doesn't mean you have to do traditional cardio. You can go find fun ways to do things and encourage others. Nothing wrong with that. But that's the video. So I appreciate you guys supporting the channel. You have a great day.